Shuaib. My matric number is 201908. So today I would like to share with you all about oil palm in Malaysia. First, we have to know about origin, history and morphology of palm oil plantation. Okay, next video. I would like to tell you about the origin and taxonomy of oil palm. Firstly, it's family of Palmae, subfamily Copedae, genus Illea, scientific name Illus genesis, and origin is grow wide in the West Africa. The word Guinea itself comes from a country names of Guinea, and it was a monoecious plant with it consists of females and males. The history of palm oil in Malaysia can spread into three phases. First phase is it was introduced as an ornamental plant, which is brought to Malaya by British in early 1817, and it started as an ornamental plant in Rantau Panjang, Kuala Selangor using daily kurasi, and next the first commercial plantings took its place in Tenemaran Estate and Ermina Estate. Next, after the Merdeka, the expanding growth rapidly. First, palm oil mill created in 1917 in Selangor, Patang Berjuntai, and the expanding estates in growth widely. The cultivations of oil palm increased so fast after the government produced a program which is known as a FELDA now, and it's also increased the quantity of plantations of oil palm in Malaysia. We are facing in third phase, which is defending our oil palm now, which the research and developments was doing to increase the yield, and we also facing some issue like environmental issues like orangutan issue, and we have to defend our oil palm now because a lot of people depend on it. Next, I would like to tell to you about the fruits morphology. The fruits color, we have a tree, we have nigrescent, quadrascent and albertscent. Which nigrescent is from when it young, it was a dark orange and it will turn into black to red, while iridescent is a green young fruits, then once it matured, it will turn into the reddish orange. Albertscent is a blackish chocolate and turn into a yellow when it's ripe. So the fruit morphology, we know that we have a hybrid fruits, we call it as a tinera. Firstly, we know we have a dura and piscifera. For dura, we have a thick shell, we have no fibrous ring, and the mesocarp was so small, and piscifera have no shell, has a fibrous ring and large mesocarp. When it's combined together and produce a tinera, the mesocarp was a medium, shell was quite not so big and have a fibrous ring. Next, I would like to share to you about the leaf morphology. The leaf is a simple pinnate, which is it's made of a petiole. Rushes and leaflets are symmetry for the birth side, and it has 40 to 50 open front, and in the merit system has 40 to 50 front in various development stage. It depends on the fertilizer of the plant. Next, I'm going to share to you about the flower morphology. Oil palm is a monoecious crop which is have a female and male. Each tree produce like between 10 to 25 kilograms with 1,000 and 3,000 fruitlet per bunch, and the shape is practical or elongated in shape. So you can see here is the female one and here is the male flower. It was a spike, and this is spike, and this is its shapes like a spade in shape. Next, I'm going to tell you about the stem and roots morphology. As you can see, the plum tree oil may grow up until 60 feet in wild, but in commercial, it's not going to reach until 60 feet because its will makes us to trouble for harvesting. Then for the method of plantation in oil palm, we have a land preparation, we have a plant materials, plant distance, and methods of plantation. So here is a way which is we have a land preparation. Firstly, we have clear the land, decide whether we want to do a terrace or lining, construct a proper drainage and other facilities like road and everything. Next is plant materials, which we have to make sure that only normal seedling are planted, and 1 until 1.5 year of seedlings can be cropped, and do not forget to planting the cover crops. The total of plant distance is, this is a formula of planting distance, which is 1,000 is divide by 1.15 and then divide by planting distance, and this is the example of lining in the flat land. Next, before we doing any plantation, we must add 500 gram of rock phosphate per hole before we plant. For the planting, we must plant in early rainy season. It's best planted. Pruning can be easy to do by hand, and we must prevent using a chemical or mechanical use preventive chemical and mechanical control.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Shakira Zahara binti Cabdul Aziz. My metric number is 201245. Today I would like to share about the best way of harvesting process of oil palm. Okay, this is the goal of process. The best way is we like to be able to cut and collect or rip fruit bunches in a plantation, and then be able to harvest fresh fruit branches without damage the fruit and the palm. And the third is the be able to get fresh fruit branches with excellent oil content and quality, be able to get maximum high profit and the harvested fresh fruit branches. So the standard of the harvesting is all ripe fruit branches are harvested at every harvesting round, and harvesting is done at least one every 10 days, and bunches are harvested at right time, ripened and in the right way without causing damage to the bunch and the palm. The minimum ripened standard of 1 to 4 loaves fruit per branch is the followed only if harvesting is done at least every 10 years. Stalks are cut to less than 2 cm in length, and the quantity of the harvested fresh fruit branches is correctly recorded at each harvest. And for next is the timing is all year round, and the frequency is 7 to 10 days. And not many farmers have bunch every 2 weeks, but it will not give maximum bunch yield. Some of the bunches will get ripened during the waiting period, and loose fruit are more likely to get scattered on the ground, so they will take more time to collect, and some will be lost among the weeds. Harvesting also more frequently in the fastest and easiest way to improve the yield. So the labor time required, the harvester work most efficiently in terms of organizing into the following row. First, the one person for harvesting the front taking, and the 1% for the collecting fresh fruit, also the 1% for collecting loose fruit. And the speed of harvesting is depend on the palm age. Okay, next is the material and equipment. First is long pole with harvesting, sickle or chisel for palm oil to 7 or 3 meter tall. And the second is axe or bush knife to chop the front and the stalk. And the third is wheelbarrow or the bicycle with a bucket to transport the fresh fruit branches. The fourth is hoe or stick to pick up the fresh fruit branches. And 5, crayon to mark the fresh fruit branches. Also, don't forget to borrow the empty fertilizer bag to collect the loosest fruit. Okay, next is the process of the harvesting. First step is identify the ripe branches ready for harvesting based on the loose fruit that are laying in the weeded circle around the palm stalk or stalk behind front bud on the stalk. Just looking at the color of the branches is not good way to harvest tall palm because the branches may look red but they could still be unripe. Okay, step 2, harvest can bunch by first cutting front. And step 3, chop the front into the piece like the leaf stalk. And the fourth step is cut the bunch stalk to the bunch fall to the ground. Cut the bunch stalk as shortly as possible, like I said 2 cm. And then the step 5, collect the harvested bunches with a wheelbarrow after 1-2 rows of palm have been harvested. Ensure lost fruit are collected. Because the lost fruit contain 40% oil, the fruit are what earn money in all palm. So not collected them will leaving money laying around. And also collect fruit grow into weed which need to be removed later, so it will damage our farm. So the step 6 is move collect fruit, fresh fruit bunches and loose fruit to the collected area at roadside. Okay, step 7, stick fresh fruit branches into row. The stalk should have only 1 layer so that the branches can be counted and sorted immediately. Step 8, collect loose fruit separately and place beside the fruit. As you can see, it's collect and put in the fertilizer bag. And step 9, label fresh fruit branches on the cut edge of the stalk with capital pencil or crayon to indicate their origin. It's the best to use different 1-letter code for each field. Every branch should mark and also fertilizer bag with lost fruit. Okay, the final step is the data recording. We should record the proper yield recording is discussed and demonstrate in the next section. In addition to keep the track of the labor cost, every harvesting activity should be recorded in a logbook as shown in the example below. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about the plant disease, pest and disease control of oil palm. Okay, in agriculture, pests are organisms that damage crops by their feeding or burrowing activities. And diseases involve microorganisms like fungi, bacteria and virus. It damages the crops by disrupting their physiology, metabolism or direct cellular activities and tissue damage, and the crop's ability to optimize their production. That's why when the oil palm is infected by pest or disease, the production will become very low. So let's have an example of the major pests of oil palm in Malaysia, such as rats, bagworms, nettle caterpillars, rhinoceros, beetle, bunch moth and termite. So from this you can see these are the examples of the pests that will cause us the low production of oil palm in Malaysia.
Tak apa, nanti dia cut.
Cut dulu.
Cut dulu.
For the control of pests, insecticides will remain the main weapon against insect pests, but integrated control involving regular monitoring, good agronomic practices, conservation and preservation of the natural resources, supplementation, utilization of natural control agents, and the use of chemical will become increasingly more important. Chemicals with broad spectrum of activity, long and persistent residues, and high mammalian toxicity will continue to be replaced. That means we are trying to cut down the use of chemical and toxic insecticides for the good of the environment and for the human ourselves. Okay, after discuss about the pests, now we are going to talk about the disease of oil palm that we normally found in Malaysia. From this, you can see that there are Ganoderma bud rot disease, the leaf spot, and oil palm wilt caused by Fusarium oxysporum, and the last one is the bacteria bud rot. Okay, now we are going to focus about the common disease like Ganoderma disease. All of us know that Ganoderma disease is one disease that can't find a very good solution. That's why we still depend on fungicide to control this disease. Okay, besides that, okay, about the Ganoderma disease, it is very commonly found in Malaysia, and the full name is Ganoderma bud rot, which is caused by the fungi Ganoderma sp. And this disease, it will reduce the growth of palm, and it will cause the green foliage of the palm become pale green. Okay. This disease will cause the palm die very early. And besides that one, we are going to focus about the bacterial bud rot, which is caused by the Erwinia sp bacteria. Please take note that this is caused by bacteria instead of the fungi like the previous one. And the symptoms of this disease is that parts of the spare leaf, petiole or the rakai will turning brown, and the discoloration will occur. And the next one, we are going to talk about the oil palm wilt, which is caused by Fusarium oxysporum fungi. The symptoms include the disease will vary according to the age of the host, and the disease can affect seedlings and mature trees. Seedlings exhibit the retarded growth and reduce the leaf size. And just like we all need to eat to obtain nutrients, oil palm trees also need to eat. They also need nutrients from fertilizer to maintain their health. So when oil palm tree cannot get enough nutrients insufficiency will occur. And today we are going to focus on 7 main nutrients deficiency symptoms that always occurs on oil palm tree. And the first one, we are going to talk about the micronutrients that needed by oil palm trees, which is the nitrogen. When nitrogen is insufficient in oil palm trees, this type of nutrient deficiency will occur in young oil palm trees. The symptoms are uniformly pale and yellow-green of the leaf. Okay, so the midrib tissues of the oil palm tree will turn to bright yellow instead of the normal green color. So the next one, we are going to talk about the phosphorus nutrient deficiency. So phosphorus deficiency will not produce the leaf symptoms in oil palm. However, the trunk will become narrow and tapered, which will happen to be the pyramid shape. And the next one is potassium. When the potassium is the most needed nutrient by trees, so the lack of potassium will cause the progressively decline in yield as well as the plant health, and will lead to orange spotting in the leaf. Okay, after talking about the micronutrient, we are going to discuss about the micronutrient. The first one is the boron. The symptoms due to boron deficiency will be spotted if the front tip of the leaf are misshapen, stiff and brittle, which you can see from the slide. The leaf is very deformed. And the next one, we can talk about the magnesium. The lack of magnesium will be observed due to the bright orange color in the outer fronts. The orange discoloration is extremely obvious to apparent pinnate that is exposed to the sunlight. And after talking about magnesium, let's move on to the magnesium. It's manganese micronutrients. Manganese deficiency will defect yellowing of internal areas. It will only occur on young, older fronts and equally obvious on upper and lower rank pinnate. And the last one, we are going to discuss about the zinc deficiency in oil palm tree. Zinc deficiency will result in small narrow white streaks on lower and mid-crown fronts. A different condition that will produce roachy leaf symptoms has also been identical. Zinc deficiency is found on shallow peat soils overlying sand, particularly for large amount of soluble phosphorus fertilizer that have been applied to the palm plantation. So that's all from me.
Hi, I'm about to present about my part. The title of my part is about current issues and challenges of oil palm in Malaysia and in global. Okay, firstly, oil palm. The first issues is about palm oil boycott by the European country. This is because they claim us that we have done a huge deforestation just to plant the oil palm, and the deforestation makes wildlife such as orangutan been killed. So the population of orangutan has been decreased by year. So that's why the European country boycott our product that contain any of oil palm, because they want to show us that they want to protect the wildlife. Okay, and then secondly is about genoderma disease. Yeah, genoderma disease. Genoderma sp is actually a fungi that has been a long term issues until now, but there are none of the resolve that can make a solution to kill that genoderma, because we doesn't know when will it been grow, because the effect can be seen when the oil palm has been mature. Okay, lastly is about peatland issues. Most land in plantation in Indonesia, mostly their plant their oil palm in peat soil area, and actually it doesn't good for oil palm, because peat soil actually contain so many organic materials, and the soil is not very stable, because when the oil palm has been into a mature stage, it will sink down, because the soil cannot maintain the weight of the oil palm tree, and that's why peatland is not very suitable for oil palm planting. And secondly is because oil palm contain many organic materials, so when a fire catch up the soil, so the burning is not happen upside of the soil, but it happen inside the soil, so we cannot control it, because we doesn't know where actually the fire has been catch up, has been spread. Okay, now into my last part. The title of my part is about suggestion on how to improve the yield of the oil palm. Okay, firstly, the first suggestions that can be made is to improve our innovations and usage of mechanizations in our oil palm estates. Actually, when we use innovations and new innovations and using mechanizations, we can reduce the labor cost, and we can do work like manuring, pruning and harvesting more efficiently and need less time, so that bring benefit to many estates and smallholders that involved in oil palm plantation. Alright, the second is good management of estates. So the most important parts of in a oil palm plantations, because it determine the future of the oil palm. Because if they have a good management, they can bring a lot of yield and a lot of profits. So the thing that contained in this good management is like drainage systems, utilities, and how the plants, how the oil palm has been planted, and how much labor cost that you use, how much person do a pruning and harvesting in 1 hectare. So that determine on how much the efficiency of the oil palm plantations, and how much profit that we'll get. Okay, and lastly, we can use high yield of breed of oil palm, such as AA hybrid IS. So this has been produced in about 2014, in the year of 2014. So this can bring a very huge yield to us, and actually maybe can make very huge profit to us. So this is very important, because in a oil palm estate we want a high yield, so we must choose a very quality and have a high yield breeds. So that's all from me. Thank you.